Hey, I want you to see something. Look up at your ceiling. Okay, look up. Now, look at your walls. All right, look back at me now, over here. Great. You may not know it, but you just saw decades of innovation right there in your house. All of that took generations of engineers and mathematicians to make sure that you're safe and cozy as you watch me. And I have to say, you do look very cozy right now. But what about finding the next generation of innovators? Well, just like your walls, one company has that covered. Here's Ali Ward to explain.
Being an innovator means thinking differently, and that applies to inventions as well as people. Imagine the creative possibilities if you hired young, science-minded people from different regions of the globe and put them to work side by side with experienced professionals. If you're in the business of manufacturing building materials for homes and offices around the world, that would be a great idea. And that's exactly what our sponsor, a company named USG, is doing.
One of the ways we engage the outside world is that there are innovation contests. And for one particular challenge, we got entries from over 12 countries, from South America, from Europe, from Kazakhstan, that I would have never imagined. We want curious people, people who are not afraid to fail, to experiment.
USG makes sheetrock wallboards, ceiling tiles, and other construction materials that have to be strong, sustainable, fireproof, and lightweight.
You have a typical construction with the EFIS finish on the outside, our secure rock board in there, as well as our interior wall board on the inside.
There's a lot of science behind the walls where you're sitting there maybe watching TV right now. But what works in Indonesia is very different than what works in Indiana. So we have to be very flexible and very diverse, and that's why having the people from different parts of the world that bring that knowledge to us about what the international customer needs.
That's why USG maintains a huge innovation center and hires scientists and engineers from dozens of different countries to discover new ways to make walls safer and lighter. I made the trip to Libertyville, Illinois, near Chicago, to visit their awesome lab and test center for myself. So, Don, where are we with our fancy safety goggles?
Okay, this is the gypsum panels lab. This is where our scientists come up with the basic theories that manifest themselves in some of our new products.
So they are testing different compounds to see if they can make something that's more lightweight or something that's more durable or fire resistant.
Exactly. You can define diversity a lot of different ways, but it's not just the color of your skin or the language that you may have learned to speak, but it's diversity of thought, diversity of problem solving, diversity of experience. It's the differences that make us stronger.
We truly believe that the world is our lab versus our lab is the world.
The company pairs young employees with experienced team members so they can learn from each other.
The wise people pass on their knowledge to the younger ones, and the younger ones educate the older ones on taking risks. Then you get innovations faster.
We have state-of-the-art facilities, analytical equipment, and full-scale fire, acoustics, and structural testing capabilities.
Talk about cool. Engineer Samar Anami from Iran gets to work with a scanning electron microscope to examine the molecular structure of their many innovations.
The round objects, we want them to be intact. If they're broken, we don't want them. We don't want them. So we go back and modify the product. That's what we look for.
USG's international team tests wall and ceiling tiles in a variety of ways, including acoustics, strength and durability, and most importantly, fire protection tests, which torch the sheetrock wallboards to over 1,000 degrees. Yet, they are still cool to the touch. Oh, that's cozy. I would call that cozy and not dangerous. Then they hose it off to test its structural integrity. So the next time you stare at the wall in your home or office, just know that there's a global team of scientists and engineers standing behind it, working hard to keep you safe and protected.